Hi, this is Per from Connector. I'm here today to talk about Instagram and analytics. Maybe two different worlds, you could say, Instagram and analytics, but something you have to think about if it makes sense for you. Before we come to analytics, because analytics is not a goal in itself, analytics is a way of measuring how your business is performing, so it actually has to start with your business and why you use Instagram in the first place. And once that's sort of established, then you would also know what kind of metrics and measurements that would make sense for you when it comes to Instagram and analytics. So let's start with why use Instagram in the first place. Instagram should be used as a channel to create awareness, and in some extent or some special cases you can also use Instagram to sell, but I'll get back to that later. Instagram, that is what you can call a browsing platform. Users go in, very visual, look and see what happens, and then scroll down. You know all this. So that makes it great to in a very easy and convenient way present your products and so on. But the problem with Instagram for most people, not for all, but for most, is that it's actually very difficult to make them take a step from browsing on Instagram to starting an actual purchase of your product. And there's several reasons why this is a problem. The first one is the media, that Instagram is a mobile media, so it's difficult to make people take the shift from the mobile channel they're in and over to the website and then finishing a purchase. That's one problem. The other problem is that actually Instagram has been designed to do exactly what I explained before, easily browse around, scroll, looking at pictures and so on. So it means that users are very motivated to stay on the platform. Of course you can link out of it, but most people prefer to stay on the platform because they're sort of in a browsing mode. I want to figure out what's going on, click and click and click. So it's not so natural for them in this process to visit another website outside the platform. So it means that for most people, Instagram is very good at creating awareness and so on. So people, have your brand or product or services top of mind, and they can see it and so on. But don't expect them to sell it because there's too many obstacles that leaves them or stops you from doing it. With two exceptions. One is that if you use influencers to brand and position your product, then their appearance can be so strong that you can actually overcome the obstacles that I mentioned before, and that could be used to create awareness from the product. And also if the product is that you sell is very impulse oriented by nature, so something that people respond to emotionally and say, this is something that I want and I need it now, then they would have an impulse that's strong enough for you to actually make the sales. The problem is that for most products and services that would not be the case, so that's why Instagram is a browsing media. And in Connector we see a lot of customer data when we work with our clients, and it's also what we see on the data side, that there's actually very little traffic generated from Instagram over to a website, and even that part that actually gets there, very few converts into a sale. So I would say that you would be naive if you expect to sell from Instagram unless you are having a product that is very appealing to people's emotion and makes them want to buy something right now, or if you have a strong influencer that you work with. In all other examples, don't expect to use Instagram for anything else than awareness, which of course it is actually very good at. And that brings us to the analytical part, because if that's sort of the business setup that you can expect from Instagram, what should you then measure? I would say that it's a waste of time to measure anything that has to do with sales on Instagram for the reasons that I've just explained, that you don't expect any sales, so why try to measure it? So what you should measure on Instagram is your brand exposure and how well that is perceived. So it's actually measuring your marketing effort, not your sales effort. What if you want to measure that, and that's what you should do on Instagram, then what want to understand so you can improve is of course your reach. How many people react to your posts, how many share them, how many have seen them, and so on. Is there a pattern in what you do, so that you can grow the way you're doing it? Has it to do with pictures of people, not people, the way you present your product, the wording, and so on. All these elements you want to know what works and what doesn't work, and you need data and analytics to understand how people do this, with the intent of creating more awareness. So analytics in that context is a way of understanding how people react to your posts, so you can create better posts that reach a broader audience, or make people come back more often so that you have them in the sales funnel, or whatever is important for you from a sales perspective. So it means that the analytical part of Instagram is actually not that much, and what you should focus on is measuring sales, nothing else. Because of course I cannot say that it would never happen that people buy from Instagram. It's just not very often, and it's not something that you just have a setup that measures how sales is actually progressing and tracks and so on. Because don't expect to see it unless you are having a part of that, maybe 5% of the segment that has very special product that can sell from Instagram. But if you have, then you would know already. The rest of you probably don't have and never will have. That's sort of it. This is just one of the video casts that we do. We have a similar one like this about Facebook sales. We have how to create content that sells and how you should measure that, and so on. So stick to the channel and have a look, see if there's anything else you find interesting, or go to connector.com and have a look at what's going on in there. Everything we post here has a blog post as well, where you can go in and read and get some more data and insights if that's what you prefer. Thank you for having a view of this, and hopefully see you again soon. Bye.